Hi everyone, we've returned today back to the pollination apiary on the oilseed rape. As you can see behind me, it's a fabulous sunny morning. It's still a little bit cool, but we're going to carry out an inspection on camera today looking at the nucleus colony that we transferred last week, just to see how they're coming along. We want to just check to see whether they're drawing the comb nicely, whether we've got any issues and whether they need any food. I think that they've probably been on the oilseed rape and probably haven't even used the food, but we'll have a look, see how they're getting on, and I'll just talk you through how the nuke is progressing. So we'll just give the bees a little smoke at the entrance and then we can start to open them up. The two bees trapped under the roof, unfortunately. So the feed has still got quite a lot of syrup in it, so as I thought, they are very much using the oilseed rape. It's all looking fairly calm. Just pop off the crime board and we can see that the bees are working across most of the frames, just a couple of frames at both sides that they're not yet actually on, but they're nice and calm on the top of the bars of the frames. So the outside frame is still foundation. Okay, so they've actually stuck a couple of frames together here, so I'll just use the smoker to move the bees away and we'll just have a look, see what we've got down here. Try and cut through it without doing too much damage. There we go. So here you can see the kind of problem that you can sometimes encounter when you're introducing bees into a new hive with foundation. Sometimes, for whatever reason, the space that they've got, they tend to draw it out in an uneven fashion. So we'll have to have a look at rectifying that at some point, and it might well mean that we need to move some frames around once the bees really get going. So this is one of the first frames from the nucleus colony, and it's full of stores, and you can see on this side why we've encountered a problem. So we've got a bulge of comb at the top here. There's a bit of a gap and they've started building the comb out along these edges. So I think what we'll do is we'll look to move this frame to the outside so that we have a more level comb structure against the foundation, and that will hopefully help the bees build it out more evenly. Another one that's been caught. So here we've got Supersedure queen cell in the middle of the frame. The bees are generally very calm. We'll leave that queen cell for the moment and just move through our inspection. So just foundation on this one. Bees are on it, but not yet drawing it. And we've got another queen cell on this frame. I'm not going to do anything with the queen cells until we've been through the full inspection. So one of the important things to identify is that you have eggs in the cells before you knock down any queen cells, because if you have got a colony that's swarmed, then knocking down the queen cells when there are no eggs will mean that you make them hopelessly queenless. And nukes are quite capable of swarming as well as full-size colonies if they have restriction in the area that they can work in. They feel they're out of space, the swarmy trait of the bee. It can all lead to bees swarming even though you've put them into a full-size hive. So at the moment I'm actually not seeing any eggs, so we need to just go through completely to make sure that the queen is still in here. We've got another fairly large sealed queen cell at the bottom here, so I'm now starting to think that we may well be moving some of these frames into nukes, as was suggested by several people previously in the last video, that we could have used a frame with a queen cell on to produce more queens. So this one the bees have actually built together, and we've another queen cell tucked away at the bottom of this frame. I haven't seen the queen and I haven't seen any eggs. So what we'll do is we'll split this one down into a couple of smaller nucleus colonies. We'll leave one here which will pick up all of the flying bees, and we'll take the other one to another position where we can use the queen cell. We'll have nurse bees emerging from the cells in the combs, and they'll look after any newly emerged virgin queen. So let's see if we can split this one open without doing too much damage to the comb. So if you've purchased a nuke or you've been given a nuke, sometimes this is what can happen. You might find that the bees have just become overcrowded, they don't have enough room, and before you know it, they've swarmed. Now, it's not because you've been sold a dud nuke, it's just the way the bees have reacted to their new home, and you end up with a colony that swarmed. And if you're a beginner beekeeper, then it can seem like everything's gone horribly wrong, but this is an opportunity for you to produce a new queen. But the important thing is that you don't destroy all the queen cells prior to checking that you've actually lost the queen and you've had a swarm leave that colony. So we'll just pop this frame back in, and then I can go and get some additional equipment off the truck and we can set ourselves up to split this colony down. So the situation we find ourselves in with this colony is that they are now queenless. It looks as if the queen has gone missing. Whether they've swarmed, there's still quite a lot of bees here, so whether they've swarmed, maybe, last week we didn't actually see the queen, maybe in transferring the nuke across I've damaged or killed the queen. That's always a possibility, of course, and these things do happen. So we're going to split this colony down now into probably 3 nukes, and we're going to produce another video which will be available on our Patreon page where you can watch us splitting this colony down. If you'd like to take a look at it, please do pop over and take a look at our Patreon page where you can access lots more content through this season. Once we've done that, we're going to carry on with some more inspections, and we'll catch up next week. Thanks for watching.